Yeah, got that breeze coming in. Okay, so so oh yeah, so your north node is gonna be, it's gonna be where your passion lies, that thing that adds the sweetness to your life. For me, that thing is just embracing more of my spirituality. So sharing spirituality, especially with the star card, which is a air sign card. But I get water from Aquarius energy. I don't get air. So I think that's all a part of doing and reading divination, is going your own way with it, and then it's like all about uncovering the little nuances and things that it might seem one way, but it's more than meets the eye with the tarot. And then sometimes too, if there's no cards just popping out like that, sometimes it just might need more shuffling. I guess this is more of a tarot lesson then. Yeah, so let me just shuffle a little bit more. And then, yeah, the cards, the divination has energy. Your energy, more specifically, is the way you divine and connect with the world around you, with your intuition, with your subconscious, conscious, super conscious, all of those things. But so then choosing your passion projects, your north node, you can look in your astrology chart to find out where this placement lies in your astrology chart. If you just go online and you could type in astrology chart or natal chart, and many little chart calculators will pop up where you just put in your city of birth, your time of birth, and you will be able to see what the planets, what the alignments were the day you were born. And it's nothing more than just to give you some insight, but you can deviate away from what was given to you based off of, I think that's the part of the being in the south node, is that you're uncovering yourself in a specific way that allows you to give access to rebirthing yourself. Yeah, so maybe a tool of rebirth. Yeah, especially with this like Seven of Pentacles energy. Doesn't this look like he's just went through this spiritual awakening? And what is this? Taurus. And I don't know why I always get these two damn signs mixed up. I can never differentiate between Jupiter and Saturn. I don't know why, but okay, so I know that Saturn energy has a lot to do with, it's like your it's the way, it's like the way you carry yourself and hold yourself to a particular righteousness, like having that integrity, doing what you say you're gonna do, meaning what you say and doing what you say. But Jupiter, I always get Jupiter and Saturn mixed up. It's crazy. Oh, I can look in my book too. It throws me for some reason. I don't know what it is about these two signs. Maybe it's, I need to do a little bit more research on them, because we're looking at the Seven of Pentacles, Taurus and Saturn. Okay, so it is Saturn then. So Saturn it's that planet with the rings around it, and it rules. It used to be the old sun. It was worshipped in its heyday as the sun energy, and then somewhere along the line in its fall, there's a new sun, which is the sun that we see in the sky. But from what I've heard is that Saturn had its own, it was the sun that was worshipped as the light at a particular time in human history. So let me pull up. Is this the one I want? Oh yeah, and I made this little cute tarot key right here. I just put it on the index card where I just put the houses. I put the houses, the sign, the planet, and then the sign. And then I also put like fire, water, earth, air, and then a few meanings of what it means, the signs, the houses, what the houses represent, and the ruling planets. Just like a little tarot key to help me when I stay focused on reading the cards. So lately I haven't been reading the cards with the tarot meanings, but I've been reading them based off of the meanings of the house. So, and how I found that out is because, okay, so you see up here in this corner, it has a Taurus sign, and then it has the Saturn sign. So I've been going through and reading based off of that on this key right here. This is the other key that breaks down the houses, the first house, second house, third house, so on into the 12th house. And then it has the ruling sign, then the ruling planet, and then actual what the house means. So this is just a bigger version, more drawn out than just this little card. So that's how I've been reading the card. So based off of that, let's see. We have Aquarius. So Aquarius is ruled by the 11th house in her astrology chart, which represents groups, friend groups, groups like in a community, networking, good spirits, hopes and wishes, and luck. And then we have Saturn in Taurus. So Saturn is in the 10th house. So groups and career. Saturn in the 10th house. Careers, profession, personal identity, representation, reputation, fame, ambitions, and legacy. So your career is like that thing. Remember, because we're talking about a money reading, right? So, and then we have Taurus, which is represented by Venus energy, and it represents money and value, personal finances, material possessions, income, assets, and security. Alright, so it's just confirmation. I'm gonna put these back. Put my guides and my books over here. It was talking about dark academia. Taking on so crafting. I think that crafting is another one of those things. You know, like I make my own soap, which I really love to do. Making my own beauty products and just doing things with my hands, like DIYs, and I'm gonna get more into that. So So your North Node is that thing that is your purpose in this life. While you make money and you make a way, you make a lifestyle, the lifestyle that you want to live based off of your passions. Whether you have like multiple streams, you start with one stream and that like unfolds to multiple things. Because let's be honest, I don't know anybody who's just completely one track minded on the things that they like. Like, we're multi-dimensional beings. So we have many hobbies and interests. Right? That card's acting weird. The Sun card and Judgment card. So I got 9, was it 19 and 2019. Okay, let's get on. My intentions. See how I took that from, I just took like half of the deck and started shuffling like this. This is like how I normally shuffle. And then a card always pops in my hand, so I know to take that out, which is 8 of Wands, which is talking about Sagittarius energy, which is about purpose, higher education, learning more about what it is that you want to create, like that medium to your lifestyle and creations, that actual thing. For me right now, it's tarot. My research, like I like to do lots of research on different topics that I can apply to my lifestyle and my life and create like so I like to manifest. I like to do things too. I like making YouTube videos and travel. Okay, so to me, the 8 of Wands represents when you go into yourself. This is like Hermit energy, going into yourself, and then when you get to the root of this is talking about root work. You get to the root of the problem, or you get to the root of the objective, and then it's like you already got the perspective that you need to move forward, and this just makes everything more swift and move more in flow. It's like the end of the blockages and the beginning of the flowing as it relates to your purpose. And we got the 3 of Wands. Sun in Aries. So Sun energy represents love and your love life, your romantic life, your creativity, your fun, pleasure, and drive. And then Aries energy represents the house of the self, your image, your identity, your appearance. And then 3s represent Trine energy, which represents open gateways and doorways and flow and manifestations and action and first steps. Remember, we were just talking about like with the 8 of Wands, how like there's actually no more blockages. It's just a straight flow, like coming up out of this. You see how there's like this staircase, and she's coming from out of this like dark place, this like chasm. And now she's like up here on this platform where she can go and move forth with her creations, right? So the 8 and the 3 now, you can read this numerology, 8 and 3s. 8 represent like abundant energy, prosperity, as well as, I like to call, you know how people say like something being limitless? I like to not call things as limitless, because I like to practice my I wrote wordsmith, being a wordsmith, so really speaking with intention. So instead of saying limitless, which limit is in there, limitless, but there is no limits. There's only like myriad energy to co-create. So I like to put myriad instead of limitless, which eights represent that. Eights also represent cycles, represents divine feminine energy, the 8-pointed star. Threes represent divine feminine energy, like goddess energy and empress energy. Yeah, so okay, so and then we're talking about moving into creating abundance and passion projects and this sort of thing. But I feel like in order to do that, one must feel good in the skin that they're in, because like your personal image, yourself, like how you are perceived by the world, addressing this, like this is one of those things where you get to step into your main character energy by actually recreating your character, if you will, your identity, your new identity, which is based off your old identity, but you just get to choose now. I think that's what the 38. Oh, okay. So then, so I was doing a lot of, I had watched, what movie was I watching yesterday? Oh yeah, so I had watched Van Helsing yesterday, and basically I was looking, it boiled down to puberty, because okay, so in Van Helsing, Count Dracula and his three brides were trying to figure out a way to birth their children into this realm, and so they needed a stronger frequency, which was Frankenstein's energy. He had the purest energies. They tried the wolf energy. They got somewhere with the wolf energy, but his energy wasn't powerful enough to be able to sustain the life. But anyways, based off my research, I got puberty, right? And so puberty, we're talking about when you're in your 30s. Okay, so I'm in my 30s right now, and I noticed myself going through, I think it's every seldomly, like maybe every couple of, what's it, decades? What's 10 years? Yeah, every couple of decades you go through, based off of my own personal thoughts, is that I feel like we go through multiple puberties throughout our life as we age and pass over to the other side. So you go through puberty, like I don't think you ever stop growing, really. And if you're not growing anymore on a physical plane, you know, like that direct correlation from being a baby to a kid, to, I mean, being a baby to a toddler, to a child, to a preteen, to a teenager, to a young adult, to an adult, to, you know, a middle-aged adult, to a senior, you know, like this graduation, like every seldomly these years of time add up, and then we are able to get to this gateway. Is that what the Saturn return is? We get to this gateway where you can choose to reinvent yourself based off of that time period, because with every age and time you get to unlock new things. That's why I feel like aging is such a beautiful thing, and it's like, do you have the propensity to be able to let go of the past selves so that you can fully embody where that age has put you? Yeah, so so we're talking about personal appearance, impression, the ego, the sense of self, your body, your identity. This is all has to do with Aries energy and finding the self-love in that, like your inner child. Yeah, and then the sun's energy is also talking about fortune and play and pleasure, right? So pleasure seeking, even just finding those little things throughout the day that bring you pleasure, like enjoying a cup of coffee or a nice breeze through the window. I just smudged the house before I came online, so creating new energy flow inside of the home. I bless the house spirits, the spirit of the house, because I mean I feel like um, every single thing, whether it might be inanimate, living, organic, it has an energy. So so we're talking about the self, the energy in your identity. We're creating this identity for self will bring in more abundance, accepting your identity that you have in front of you and then co-creating with it. Yeah, that was a mouthful, but I think I said what I needed to say. We have the star card again. The star card popped out again. Aquarius energy, this air energy. Oh yeah, my star card, she's in the nude. Let me cover her boobies up. But oh, you see her body? She got body. Look at this, like, look at this desolate land, and she's like pouring into the land with her from the cosmos as well. This like cosmic portal that's opened up above her head, and her crown chakra is illuminated. You can see like this ripple up here, looks like it's a ripple of water, like seawater, or just, that's why I never get air sign from Aquarius. I always get water. But she has these beads around her waist and down her arm. Then I see like these cubes over here. So angelic protection, Metatron's cube. What else do I notice? I notice her like fertility, like her boobs are leaking with this water, this milk, this Amrita pouring down to her waistline, and her waistline is like wet with the and it's like it's almost like a fresh rain of energy from, I just heard from the galactic center of herself. So if I think that we all have we're all a microcosm of the macrocosm, yeah. And so she has her very own, she's her very own solar system, her very own cosmos, her very own creation of the creator energy and access to this. I just know she has like this rolled up thing in her hair. It's giving a scroll. It's giving scroll energy. And she's looking down to, she's looking this way. So she's looking towards the future. She's looking towards what's to come. Also, what else do I get? Where things were barren before, now they're fruitful and abundant. Remember, I was just talking about the eights and how it represents. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about the fact that 8 energy represents infinity, and to me infinity is just a time loop, or just like a loop. You know how it goes in a loop like this, a continuous cycle of flow of energy. Well, as to the Aquarius card, it has this spiral. You see the spiral energy, the continuation. So it's giving me that like pulsation energy of the universe, and how things pulse into being, and how the universe is based off of sound. So this got me thinking about like the blueprints. access to your Akashic records, access to your blueprints. Everyone has their own sacred blueprints in Akashic records that they can access. If you seek, you shall find. Isn't that what the Bible says? Yeah, so seeking and finding that inner wisdom and peace. Okay, so money frequency, making money, it all boils down to balancing the way you speak about money, your thoughts about money, your thoughts about your abundance, knowing that there's always more. I know I always tweet about this, but there is literally always more. You could, how I kind of broke free of my money, my lack mentality, is I started looking around me in nature and realizing that every single it just gave me, like, if you just take a blade of grass, even just outside, go outside your doors and you look at a blade of grass and you see that each blade of grass, you just realize the number, like the quantity of blades of grass, and just realizing that the earth plane is myriad with abundance. There is no lack. There truly is no lack. There is only abundance around you. And once you begin to look at those things around you and realize that there's more, there's always more, and that there's more than enough to go around and to share, it's a very powerful frequency to claim and call in. So when we go back to talking about this Eight of Wands, so eights represent cycles, continuous cycles. So it's like, you know that Tron movie when Sam was in the games and then he was fighting his opponent, and then he was actually trying to catch his foot and like, what is going on? Why do I have to fight this person? So he ended up winning, and then they gave him another opponent, and so he didn't want to fight anymore. So he broke out of that bubble they put him in, and they were fighting, and he just dropped down to the grid. Like, he was a true user. In that Charm movie, it was the people, the programs versus the, what do they call them? The programs or the users, I think. The user, what do they call? The user or the program. Yeah. So he was actually one of the people, the gamer. We'll just call it gamer. He was the gamer. So he had full control and he knew it. And so then that caught Flynn's attention. It was like, oh, this isn't no regular program, or this isn't no regular user either, because Sam was, no, Flynn, not Flynn. He caught the attention of Clue. And so Sam was Flynn's son. And so he knew some things about the, what did they call it on there? He knew some things about the grid. Based off of his knowledge, he was able to apply it to find his father. So we're talking about ending cycles, but you can also start new cycles, and that too is what the Star card is talking about. And then with the Three of Wands, with this door of self being open, because once you know thyself, okay. And we have the Hermit card. The Hermit card is basically, to me, representing Virgo energy, but giving me the clue that all the answers is within itself. It's crazy because they have Virgo represented as the Hermit card, but it's represented in this masculine energy, this elder senior, when Virgo is the one who created the astrology wheel in the charts. This is Virgo's technology. Astraea. I think that's Astraea. That's how you say her name. I mean, that's how I pronounce it. But this Hermit card, to me, is talking about like introspection, going within your will. I'm gonna read what the guidebook says about the Hermit card. But positive crisis, silence, detachment, passage, accents, maestro, latent capacity, prudence, secrets, isolation, self-sacrifice, slowness, and stagnancy. So you know that part. Oh yeah, so this really completely aligns to that Tron movie, because you know, in Tron's legacy, when Sam entered the grid, so the whole time Flynn was waiting for some other catalyst to come in to be able to change the energies and change the name of the game and change the board game around. And when Sam came onto the grid, it changed everything. It opened up like new pathways and opportunities for them to be able to move, because he was the damn hermit. Flynn was the hermit. He was off in the mountains with Cora, trying to stay out of sight because Clue had went rampant and destroyed the grid as he knew it. And he gave him the permission to, but he didn't know to what extent Clue would go through with the plan. So there was a plan. He knew there was a plan. He gave him the purpose to do, but he didn't know to what extent Clue would do it. And yeah. So anyways, back to this hermit energy. It's like this self-sacrificing energy, this introspection of energy, and this represents 6th house energy, which represents home and health. Mercury represents the planet of communication, which is like everyday routines, your working, living environments, co-workers, pets, like intimate relationships, health and wellness. So yeah, being able to go in and introspect, like having access to this hermit energy gives you access to this ability to always go in, introspect, and transform your energy. The truth is, you never really stuck anywhere. You just need to gain our perspective. And he's holding this light, this lantern within his hand, and then there's all this green light around, which is the heart. And to me, the heart is the North Star, is the leading the way to what it is that you want. That heart-led energy. And then with it being next to the Star card is ability to so if this is like representing heart space, and then his cloak, well, not his cloak, he just has this this garb of red on, which represents his connection to his roots. This green giving heart chakra energy, giving your connection to yourself, your source. And then the Star card with all this blue energy, giving connection to your expression, expressing your truth, expressing your culture, expression of those things, your passions, your purpose. Okay. And we have a lot of red energy because this is talking about feeling safe to be able to move forward with your passions, your plans. Okay, so then with the 2 minor arcana that's on the table, which represents 11 energy, then I write down some numerology. Yeah, I think I did. It might be in my other journal. What did I wrote down the means? But basically, it represents new beginnings, attention, things manifesting, your desired reality manifesting, your intuition, the peak of manifestation, and fresh new beginnings is what 111 or in 111 represent. Alignment, intuition. It's like arms. Okay, then we have the Ten of Pentacles, which is represented by Virgo and Mercury. So this is basically clarifying the Hermit card. That like source of bounty that's within the self that you are to be expressing through your passion. And then we have the Judgment card, which we just got the Judgment card again, but this represents let me see, what's the 10, which we got 11 again, because when you condense the numbers, it equals 11, 1. This like connection to your intuition in this alignment. But this Judgment card represents fire, renewal, new consciousness, union, family liberation, reawakening, discoveries, vocation, transcending desire, infancy, certainty, a positive crisis, things awakening within inside of you to answer the call, like bravery, being brave enough to answer your soul's calling. Your with the clearance. And then we have the Hangman. Remember, we were just talking about this, the fact that you needed to gain this perspective of who and what you are and what you're capable of, your power, your source of energy. All of this is found within. The realignment to your divine feminine energy is like your care, the way you uphold your boundaries, setting boundaries, new boundaries for yourself, aligning to the new you that is being birthed throughout this period of puberty as you just grow and age into this completion, this totality of a person, like as you get older. And my thing is like, do something that makes sure your grandmother self, your great grandmother self, your elder self, do something to make your elder self proud. So normally Ten of Pentacles talks about like the full circle, like the end all be all. So we're projecting out into the future and creating, like when it's all said and done. You see how the pentacles are kind of in a circle above this cow's head. So like that end all be all, when it's all said and done, what do you want people to say about you? Like, what's your legacy that you're leaving behind? Okay, so with the Hangman too, is the Hangman represents excuse me, waiting, detachment, meditation, suspension, gestation, sacrifice, commitment, prudence, a new point of view. It's all about gaining perspectives, new perspectives, analyzing things and seeing things from a higher perspective. And it's right up under this Three of Wands card. And remember, I was talking about how going in with the Hermit card is going in to introspect, to get new clarity, to get clarity, crystal clear clarity on what it is, who you are, who are you. And then this is like, this Eight of Wands is like knowing who you are and moving forward with command behind that. So this is just reiterating everything that we just said, answering your soul's calling. Okay. Oh yeah, and then realizing, look, his head, he has his cage on his head, but he also has the key in his hand. So like you know what it is that your next steps in, you know what it is that you want to create. And whenever you're ready, not whenever you're ready, but now you're ready. Yes. Now you're ready, and you're supported by this Judgment card, 1010. The completion in the beginning of something new. These new cycles sparking something new. Okay, so then we have the Seven of Wands. I mean, Seven of Wands? No. We have the Seven of Cups. Looks like this. Represented by Venus, divine feminine energies, and Scorpio, transformations, death, rebirth, inheritance. Inheritances, other people's money, shared finances and resources, joint income, power, death, life, occult, which occult is just hidden knowledge, to be uncovered, abilities. What the hidden knowledge within the self. Okay? It's like all of these, this is all of the knowledge that's hidden within that you now have access to use as you see fit to benefit your life in the life around you, the people around you, especially when it comes to what you can do for yourself, your legacy, your family, your community, the world, the earth. And so this is also getting that like your unique abilities, that unique spark that's within yourself, like your very own fingerprint. Only you can create and co-create with the earth based off of your talents. Everyone's talent is needed. Every single person is unique, and every single person has that unique fingerprint that only their specific energy can do what it is that their purpose is. With the sevens, and then sevens also represent spiritualization, giving you access to the world of the unseen, your imagination and intuition, your past on loved ones, other energies like your spirit guides, and the fact that you're guided and protected along your way to set forth off and do your things, that your passions. Your willpower, hopes. And that's right up under the star card, which just reiterates what that star card energy is. Okay. All right, so then we have this High Priestess. The High Priestess gives you access to the world of the unseen. We were just talking about that because with that Scorpio, with the moon right next to that, moon represents divine feminine energies, also the subconscious, things beneath the surface, things in your psyche, like those things that are patterned. We were just talking about that, completions of cycles and patterns, trajectories, and realigning to new ones, and the power of that, and how that all ties back into even when it comes to the future to come. And when I talk about the future, I'm talking about like the children to be born on this earth plane, like especially specifically through one's family. So she represents two energy, and I can read to you what, based off of the Night Sun Tarot guidebook, It represents knowledge, gestation, accumulation, patience, purity, matriarchy, rigor, fecundity, motherhood, expectancy, inspiration, solitude, haughtiness. What am I holding back and accumulating is the question. But she represents moon energy, which represents house and family, home, property, family, inner world. She would represent that inner world, and she's right up under the Hermit card. And the Hermit, like I said, so she's giving you access. It's like now you have the key to unlock, but through this like introspection, now you gain more knowledge of, you have access to more knowledge of who you truly are and what you're here to create based off your purpose. And knowing this is very powerful and helps you to create more fluidly. Okay. The Page of Wands is the next card. So look how she's like walking forth in her courage. She's like, look, I might now just be starting out on this journey, but never underestimate the power of a page energy, the power of child energy, childlike energy, new starts, like fresh new perspectives, starting out with something and it's brand new and it leads to something ultimate, your ultimate fulfillment, whatever it is that you see for your life. In my particular life, I think ultimate fulfillment is creating that legacy for myself to enjoy now, but also for the future generations, having something to pass down and leave behind for the future. Because in my family, it's like, I don't know where it was this disconnect, but I just feel like now it's time to align back to some sacred traditions when it comes to leaving a legacy and purpose, leaving properties and leaving the children with something that, so they won't have to start over from scratch, so they can have that wealth to be able to accelerate their purpose. That's what it's about for me. While I get to enjoy it while I'm here. Giving them access to that sacred knowledge, leaving that behind, clear and blatant. So we have the Two of Wands next. Balancing. I just got temperance, like tempering. Let me listen. Okay, so we have Aries, which is the self, and then we have Mars, which represents the self. So this is called a, excuse me, power and balance within the energy of self, having that control to be able to, I'm getting that Saturn energy again, like having that integrity to do what you say, mean what you say, and do what you say you're gonna do. Integrity. With balance, knowing when to say no, knowing when to say yes, acting on your full body yeses, only acting in accordance if it feels good and right to you. Especially when working on creating your passion projects and calling in those relationships, because let's be honest, money is just ever flowing and abundant and ever like transferring or ever attracting, but also that steady flow of in and out, that pulsating energy, like with the star card. Remember I was talking about that spiraling energy, how things pulse into existence, that fine balance between being in the middle of cycles that are completing and beginning. Now we have 23 on the table. In numerology, 2s and 3s represent balance, and also 2s can represent, like, remember I was just talking about calling in those partners, your soul tribe with the 2 of Wands, those other people that align with your purpose, that will help you and you help them, calling in those mutual relationships that align with your purpose, and how everything interconnectedly fits together in these puzzle pieces. Dang, all of these Wands energies. We have the Knight of Wands. Okay, we started out with the 8 of Wands, which is that coming out of the dark place, coming out of, I'm guessing this is like, I did say Saturn return, so coming out of that introspection, that deep cave, that cave within of self, and moving in, inspire action, but getting there faster, things speeding up, acceleration happening. But then with the Wands, because he versus like coming out and she's walking on foot, so with the Wands he has an actual horse that he's on horseback. Horses represent freedom, acceleration, the freedom to choose. Making your mind up and moving forward. Mind's all made up. Now movement can happen. Acceleration can happen. While once you were in this stillness, this place of stillness, now you're in a place of action. So you needed to introspect to make a plan. Where is the next heading? Like Pirates of the Caribbean, Jack Sparrow's, his compass, it was leading him to his destiny, to his north node. But it's like that inner compass within. Okay, then we have 5 energy, the 5 of Swords. And this is represented by Venus in Aquarius. See, we're talking about having that crystal clear plan in place. You don't have to know all the answers. You just have to know a heading. Like that was the whole thing again. Pirates of the Caribbean is like, what's our heading? So what next? What now? It's like, what do you want now? Like with what Esther Hicks asks, so what do you want now? What do you want most? So this is giving me like present moment. 5s represent, to me, I know people always read 5s in a bad light, but there is no bad light. Look at all this sun energy around him, this yellow, this power. Yeah, there's mud, like because we're talking about going from this dry, desolate place to now look at all this fertile ground there is to work with. all of this sun energy out here. Suns represent love, positivity, happiness, fulfilling. But then fives represent middle, median, presence, being present in the moment. You can see like how he's holding his crown chakra and his eye is illuminated at the top. It's that connection to your source around you. No longer being in this place of like stuck, like what do I do? What do I do next? But having many options, like, oh, I can do this, like with the Seven of Cups. I can do this. 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 All of these things I can do. All of these things I have access. All of these doors open. All of these keys that unlock things. You see how and that was another big thing inside of Pirates of the Caribbean. It's like, what do you do with keys? Keys unlock things. He has the key with the hangman right here next to the Seven of Cups. Yes, what you want is unlocked and ready for you to receive it. Okay, yeah, so then Venus, Venusian energy, divine feminine empress energy is also talking about receiving. Being in a place where you can receive what it is that you are manifesting, moving towards what you want most. Your North Node. Something so beautiful grows out of darkness, out of mud, out of nothing. Like a concrete rose or a lotus flower. Okay, remember I was just talking about temperance, and here temperance is out representing Sagittarius energy. We're getting ready to go into, well, we're not quite there yet, but Sagittarius season is coming up. That and that's giving me to the knowledge that I was learning about the snake bearer energy, which is the 13th sign of astrology, which is represented by, what's his name, Orpheus, something like that. But yeah, so that energy of the snake bearer, this sacred knowledge, this when you think that you've reached wit's end, but there's more. There's always more is really the theme. Breaking into that that fluidity, the fecundity, there's all of this fertility around, tuning into that, being in the balance. Remember I was just talking about medium energies, being in the median, the middle ground, being in our present moment, not being so stuck in the past or the future, but actually solidifying in the present. All right, I'll read to you what, so Sagittarius, we're talking about our passions, but what temperance means in this book: healing, adaptation, circulation, reconciliation, harmony, protection, cooperation, serenity. Everything is working in your favor to manifest your desires. With the temperance card. Also, it represents alchemy, based off to me. Yeah, alchemy. Hitting your mark. I'm almost getting the picture of like a bow and arrow. A bow and arrow hitting your mark. And okay, so next we have this right here, this Knight of Pentacles energy, and this is talking about that thing that's built with a strong foundation, built to last. It's like letting it unfold as well, creating something that lasts, which takes time, which takes choosing it every day, which takes this is something that you create that won't fall, that can't fall because it'll be ever expanding, ever creating. It takes time to create something like this. Like, I want to give you the example of even like the Coca-Cola company. I think they've been into, they might, I'm not sure if they've been into business for 100 years. We're talking about creating a legacy to leave behind for the future generations. Is like creating that thing that will continue to prosper even after the death of you. Okay. Any finishing cards gonna come out about creating purpose, being in your purpose, creating money mindset, wealth, financial literacy, which had a lot to do with who you think you are, and knowing and being able to realign, transform, your North Node, your purpose, what you choose for yourself, how you choose to co-create with the world around you, the earth around you, your source energy, your heart space, your compass. Queen of Wands with this utter confidence, power, knowing of self. I'm put her in the middle. Yeah. Let me read it. Remember, I was just talking about receiving energy. Experience, advice, self-confidence, capricious. Okay. Anything else? The Queen of Swords. Standing on your boundaries. Yeah, stand on it. 10 toes for yourself, what you want. Supporting your vision. Not being swayed by others' opinions. Having that full control to create from your power, your perspective. Claiming that. Calling in your power, your freedom to create as you will. All right, I think that's it. New constructions with the Tower card. Enjoying, wish fulfillment. Having people, having your, your people, your place, your, why do I want to say places? So people, places, things to be able to share it with. Stepping into your myriad abundance that is innately yours. So, and wish fulfillment. So that is the end of this video. I hope that you like this. If you got like something that you could take with you from this reading, as far as like manifesting your manifesting your passion projects, letting it support you, and aligning to your new money mindset. I'm excited to see what you will create